Call the meeting to order, begin with the pledge. Commissioner Gaines, will you lead us, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Just want to announce we are experiencing some phone problems. We're not able to dial in through our phones, so apologize for anyone out there. If you need to get a hold of us or want to join, you're welcome to call one of our cell numbers or raise your hand. We can, is that an option, Lynn?
And just telling your message on the chat.
Okay, good. We'll watch the screen if anyone's trying to get a hold of us, so sorry about that. Next on our agenda is to approve our agenda.
Move.
Motion by Dinger, second by Gage. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. This time we'll open the meeting up for any public comments. Anyone wish to address the commission this morning? Morning, Scott.
Good morning. Just a quick note, we're still continuing with our pre-disaster mitigation plan. Had our second meeting last week. We have established a public survey that is out there for the public to chime in and put some information out there for us to help with that plan. So far, it's been posted on our social media. I'm going to try to get it on the web page today, but I know that every PD's got it on their social media page. It's on my EM social media page. So we encourage the folks to chime in and fill out the survey. It just takes a couple minutes and help us provide some good feedback for that plan to continue forward. So,
Very good. Thank you. Anyone else wish to address the commission? Let's say on the phone or out there online, but we don't have a phone, so. Seeing none, we will continue on. Chris Heeman, Weed and Pest Supervisor, bid opening for a 4x4 chassis or flatbed truck.
And I think we actually got one.
Morning, Chris.
Morning.
Good.
Okay, so notice is hereby given that sealed bids will be received in the chambers of the Brown County Board of Commissioners at the Courthouse Annex, 25 Market Street, Aberdeen, South Dakota, 57401 until 8:45 a.m. on July 14th, 2026. At that time and place, all bids will be publicly opened, read, and considered by the Brown County Board of Commissioners for furnishing and delivering of a 4x4 chassis truck or flatbed for weed and pest. Delivery shall be made FOB to Brown County. Alrighty. Let's see, so we got one from Pearson's, it looks like. And they gave us a couple options here on a 2027 Ford F-50 regular cab chassis built to order is attached at $69,594. Otherwise, they have access to a used vehicle, a 2019 F-550 with 37,000 miles. Vehicle includes a flatbed. Super cab, 84-inch cab to axle, existing flatbed installed, and that one is $50,000. It says does not meet all published bid requirements, which I'm not sure what they're lacking there. It might be like the tire size, things like that.
You'd ask for under 30,000 miles as well.
Yeah, I think that was the other one too. So I think it'd be worth a look if it's in good enough shape.
50 for that?
50,000. So
What was the state price on the new one?
the state bid on a new one was, do we have that in here? Let's see, I think with, actually I got that here, with everything that we were looking at putting on there, was around $69,376.
It's about the same as what they had on the new one.
On the new one, yeah. Yep. So,
Read me the specs on the 2019 again, so I can write that down.
so on the 2019, It's a super cab, extended cab, rather than our regular cab that we wanted. So it's gonna be a lot longer, but I think we could probably still work with that. 84-inch cab to axle. Does already have a flatbed on there, so that's something else we wouldn't have to worry about.
Sure.
And it's got 37,000 miles on it. It's a 2019. So, I mean, if it was in good enough condition, I don't really see any reason why that wouldn't work. I think it'd definitely be worth checking out before we made a final decision, so,
You said they wanted 50.
yeah, 50 for that one.
Right at 50.
Even,
Yeah.
because you don't put a lot of miles on it each
No,
year.
it's-
'cause really?
Yeah, really hard to say how many we'd be putting on it, but generally if we get about 5,000 miles a year on a spray truck,
Sure.
that's about what we're doing.
Yeah.
A lot of it's idle time, that's why we definitely want the diesel and because of the load that we're putting on it too.
Sure.
So I guess, I don't know, my recommendation would be if I can, I'd kinda like to check out this truck, have the guys go over it and inspect it. If we can get one for 50,000 versus 69.5, that would definitely help us a lot.
Sure, sure. Okay, based on that.
To defer?
Yes. We have a motion by Dinger to defer the decision, so we can, take a look at the truck.
Second.
Second by Dennis. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. So check it out and let
All
us
right.
know what it looks like.
Will do, and we'll see you next week.
All right.
See you,
Thanks,
Chris.
Chris.
Thanks, guys.
All right, next up, Richmond Dam update. Scott Mines, do you have anything to report? I have heard nothing from anybody.
The only thing, I know they were moving the damaged pumps out of the way, and it sounds like they're gonna keep one pump, available for any heavy rains or anything. But I know they're still driving sheet pilings. I think they poured some concrete for part of the dam. They gotta let cure as a test. But yeah, as far as I know, just, they're gonna have one pump available. The water's gone, you know, downstream tremendously, which is helping the MOG out here in Aberdeen. But other than that, yeah, it's status quo as far as I know.
So they're at level.
They're at level, yep. I do know that there's a couple cleanup days that the public's doing with Game Fish and Parks and the Park System and Richmond Lake Association coming up. Kinda clean up some of the shore that's exposed, so that'd be kinda nice.
Okay. Mr. Russell, do you have anything to report on those cleanup days that you'd like to announce?
No, I'm not really. I mean, we are gonna put dumpsters out starting, I believe, Friday through the following Monday, just for random outside of the cleanup days, if people, you know, wanna clean up their shoreline and
Sure.
not including tires and pallets and Christmas trees and cinder blocks and whatever. So Richmond Lake Association will pay for that. And then there are the 2 days, I don't remember the dates. One is this coming Saturday, and then the other one is on a Tuesday. So the following Tuesday, I believe, is when Game Fish and Parks wanted to do theirs, which didn't, you know, work as great for us as far as people working or not working. But couple days that are scheduled, but then we were just putting out disposal for people to do their own, because I think everybody's kind of doing it on their own.
Sure.
In front of their. Then I did get a letter from Department of Agricultural Natural Resources, something about a 10-day notice to people wanna dredge and clean out stuff in the lake, which I just got it this morning, so I'm not sure what that's about, but.
Okay.
I do know if you're gonna do any work in the waterway, there has to be a Corps of Engineers permit.
That's what I assumed, something like that. That's why I was surprised to get, like, who approves if somebody wants to dredge in front of their house.
Game Fish and Parks should be able to help you out with that.
Yeah.
They will have all that information if needed, but,
Okay.
yeah, if you're gonna be doing any work in the...
Or any shoreline, for that matter.
Yeah.
Cause like my property line is at my grass, so even if I wanted to add rock and stuff, technically it's not on my property.
Right, so, and it's a free permit, I believe. It's just a matter of going through a few motions. They did that when they did the Mina Dam. There was a few people, but Game Fish and Parks, like I said, should be
Yeah.
able to help out with that.
All right. There's no, go ahead, Julie.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, Julie Johnson, just one quickie. Next Monday, the Joint Appropriations Committee of the Legislature meets, and they do have the Richmond Lake Dam on their agenda, with Commissioner Greenfield scheduled to appear. That was part of the agreement about the additional $8 million, is that they have regular reports about the project. I do intend to be there, but not that I have the on-the-ground information, but just so they know we care.
Sure.
Anyway, thought you'd want to know. Thank you.
Appreciate that, thank you. Anything else, anyone else have anything to add? That's short and sweet this morning, but we'll continue to keep you posted with what we learn. All right, we'll move on to first reading of the following ordinances. Lynn.
Ordinance 328, an ordinance amending Title 4, second revision, Brown County Ordinance as amended, to rezone certain square property filed by petitioners Stanley and Carol Gage to go from Ag Preservation District to Mini Ag District.
Okay, this is first reading. Is there anyone here to speak to ordinance 328? Seeing none, entertain a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Dinger, second by Dennert. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Abstain. Take Gage, abstain. All right.
Ordinance 329, ordinance to amend Title 4 ordinance of Brown County, South Dakota. Amend Title 4 zoning as follows. Chapter 4.02 jurisdiction. Provisions of Title 4 shall apply within the unincorporated area of Brown County, South Dakota, including areas of joint jurisdiction being 1 mile outside of Groton city limit boundary line, 1 mile outside of Hecla city limit boundary line, 1/2 mile outside of Frederick city limit boundary line, and 1.5 miles of Warner city limit. Also included and incorporated communities of Claremont, Columbia, Verdon, and Stratford, as established on the map entitled the official zoning map of Brown County, South Dakota. And it's removing the jurisdiction with Warner.
Okay, is there anyone here to speak to ordinance 329? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to approve.
Move.
Motion by Gage.
Second.
Second by Dennert. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Ordinance 330, an ordinance to amend Title 4 subdivision regulations of Brown County Ordinance, Chapter 5.01, general provisions, jurisdiction. These regulations shall apply within the unincorporated areas of Brown County, South Dakota, and including the incorporated municipalities of Claremont, Columbia, and Stratford, removing Verdon, and including areas of joint jurisdiction with Frederick 1/2 mile outside city limit boundary line, Groton 1 mile outside city limit boundary line, and Hecla outside city limit boundary line, and removing Warner's 1.5 miles.
Okay, is there anyone here to speak to ordinance 330? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to approve.
Move.
Motion by Gage, second by Dinger. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next up, approve and authorize chairman to sign the Department of Health 2027 contract. It was in the packet. If you had a chance to look it over, review it. If there are no questions or concerns, I would entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Gage,
Second.
second by Dinger. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. None of you are as Johnny on the spot as Weiss is, I gotta tell you that. All right, next up, Rachel Kipley, Fairgrounds and Parks.
Good morning. First thing I have for your consideration is that promotional ticket list. Did everybody get a chance to look at that? So these are all of our sponsors, marketing partners, folks that help us out at the fairgrounds, things like that. So I'd entertain any questions, otherwise I'd ask for your approval of that. And there usually is a second round too, because we're still making some of those things formalized.
Move.
Motion by Dinger,
Second.
second by Dennert. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Second item is a tradition that we've done for many, many years, past when I was here on either board, and that's the contract for premium sponsorship. So basically, it's a transfer of funds that we give to back in the 4-H program to keep that alive. We're excited to make sure that Achievement Day stays during the Brown County Fair, and that's how we solidify it, is showing our support of those kiddos and their hard work.
Move. Okay, motion by Dennert,
Second.
second by Gage. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
And the third thing is the booking services agreement, that's with the Fran Romeo Agency. This we decided to do for a 2-year term in order to stay under the 50,000 to RFP, and the reason we didn't want an RFP is we don't want to get a relationship or a reputation where we're jumping ship all the time. Since I've been here, this is the third booking agency we've been with, and we are very good about making sure we get the best deal, but we also want to make sure that there's some consistency, and we're already looking at booking for 2027 because that's becoming critical to do that earlier and earlier in order to get the routing partners in place and things like that. So the Fair Board and the Entertainment Committee preferred to stay with Fran Romeo, and based on 3 years ago when we did bid this out, they are one of the cheaper of the ones that we had anyway, and there's a deep history of their involvement with the Brown County Fair, so putting that to you for consideration.
All right, I would like to defer a decision on that line item, if we could.
Sure.
Can you stick around
Yeah.
for exec, okay?
Yep.
That would be good, if you want to just give us a department update.
So we did have a few meetings with Centennial Village and Boys and Girls Club about the adult fast pass. We had talked to you guys about a little bit, and we are gonna implement that. The fair books are a little bit delayed at QQP, but they should be out yet this week, and there'll be a nice, article, or I guess an ad explaining them. So what that is basically, it's the plastic, more vinyl, permanent wristbands versus the paper ones you can just tear off. So you have to have a scissors to remove it. So that we have a whole policy and procedure in place with all 3 locations that offer adult beverages at the fair to try this out this year. We're always gonna put them on a certain arm. We've got a certain color. It has to be that band. Anybody is open to additional checking and IDs if we feel like there's something fishy. If you're re-entering, you have to pull it to make sure it hasn't been compromised. And so we're excited to kind of try that to, save some people a lot of time in those lines and save volunteer hours as well. So we'll be rolling that out. We've also met with Sheriff's Office. They kind of understand the policies and procedures that we have in place, and they are good with us trying that out this year. Ticket side of things, very positive. This date last year, we were at 5,000 tickets sold. That'd be carnival, rodeo, concert, everything. Today, we are at 8,000. So we're up 3,000 tickets, and that results in, so in 2025, we're at 161,000 in revenue for ticket sales. Today, we are at 242. So I think, about 20,000 of that is an increase that we had in the weekly mega pass, $20. It went up this year that we talked about last fall, but the rest of it is, I think people are really excited about this lineup. I think the Fair Board's knocked it out of the park, and we're excited for the week, and ordered 70 degrees and no rain, so it'll be great.
Finally.
Yeah.
Hope you have
How do you
enough
figure that out?
Yeah. And just since he's here, I gotta give a shout out to Dirk. He's been helping out at the fairgrounds. Things look amazing. The roads are great, and people are starting to notice, and that's a testament to him and his crew being able to come help us out. So we can never get all that done on our own, so thank you.
It's more of the crew.
Any questions for me?
I don't have any. Thanks for all your efforts. Thank you to the Fair Board for their continued success and making good decisions and all their hard work.
People like Mike Russell paving the way. How many years on the Fair Board?
No, I'm on the old people.
The legacy board now. You might get away completely, but
15.
15 years he served.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
Well, I'll go early vote, and then I'll be back for exec.
All right, thank you very much.
Need any help with that, or?
I think I got it figured out.
Okay.
All right, next up, Dirk Rogers, Highway Superintendent, with a couple items. Good morning, Dirk.
Hi. I got a couple right-of-ways. I'm hoping was that one in the packet, did it have a whole bunch of information with it, or did you just get, all right, I'll go through it quick, but the ones for Northern Electric, K&H will put it in, and this is just electrical on the south side of Prairiewood, between, which I found, our maps are wrong, this road isn't here, this is actually Prairiewood, but in between Roosevelt and Dakota Street, so starting at Dakota Street, going 3,200 feet on the south side of the road, they're adding electric in there. I'm assuming I don't know this, but it's kind of consistent with where Happy is upgrade and stuff, so I don't know if it's additional for that to feed in from the north or what, but that's where they're working. South side of Prairie Wood, right up against the right of way between, starting at Dakota and going 3,200 feet towards Roosevelt. I'd recommend it for approval.
Okay, motion by Dinger. Second by Gage. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
The other one's from like LTS, what are they called? LTS Telecommunication Services, so this isn't anybody from around here. They've been contracted with, I think it's Vantage Point, but they're running in, they're just updating some, fiber optic. And they sent a 47-page, document that goes with this, where they probably could have done it hillbilly style with a marker, but I'll go through it quick. Well, somebody's, I mean, they probably got $5,000 into getting this permit that you could have called me and we could have done it over the phone, but whatever. It starts down on our side of Melgard, which is like at Hogan Auto, is where I'm at here. From that intersection, so it's our side across from Melgard. It's actually County Road 19. It's gonna go 1 mile west, then it's gonna go a mile north, or 3/4 of a mile up to US 12. I've noted in the permit that that's a township road, and just hold that over here for a minute. So we're not permitting it on the township road. That's not our deal.
Just on 19.
Yep, and then it begins at US 12 and goes up our little piece up to 12W in front of TDO's new shop.
Yep.
And then they're gonna go around the north side of 12W right away. And I can tell they're not from here because they're gonna plow right through the bottom of the Foot Creek, and they're gonna have a real fun time with that. But at any rate, that's where it's going, and I don't have a problem with it. It's fiber optic, so it's not as, you know, it isn't quite as obtrusive when you're putting it in, but that location there, once you turn off at 12W and they come east back towards town, that's gonna be an adventure for them, but. You ever wondered why we have the same underground companies we've always had in Aberdeen? Because they know, and
what's going
anybody
on.
else that comes up here usually loses money and don't come back.
Right.
So, having babbled through all that, I do want to note, I wrote it on here, that this permit does not include 385th, which is a township road. And sidebar for a second on that topic, I keep asking folks from the utility side, what do you guys do with townships? And there's probably some kind of ownership legal thing in there that I'm not totally grasping, okay? I mean, we all know the difference between the county right-of-way and the township right-of-way. But I keep running into this. It doesn't directly affect the county per se, or the highway department, or the roads, but we've got a gap here where, I mean, if we ever had one of these things close to town get really developed and they want to run a utility through there, there's not really an acknowledgement, or, you know, there's no regulation at all. Not that I'm looking for that, but I think that the utilities should have an obligation to the people who are in charge of maintaining the right-of-way on the township roads to make some kind of, and some do when they're good neighbors, and some don't, you know, so that's just always, that thing's been hanging over here for 100 years, and I've never quite, and I can't ever get the same answer from two people about, hey, what do you do when you gotta run a utility into a township? So, I don't know. I'm not looking for more government regulation. I just think that's kind of a gap in things, you know, sometimes that could eventually be a problem.
We could always have the legislature take a look at it and really goof it up.
Yeah, I can about imagine what we'll have then, so, no. Anyway, after that long dissertation that went nowhere, I would recommend this for approval.
Motion to approve. All right, motion by Dennert,
Second.
second by Gage. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
And a few things we got going on to update you on. Our paver broke, which is unfortunate when you've got, that's like, but at any rate, it broke during a 100-degree week, so no one was too sad about having to just sit in trucks this week. But so this week we're kind of doing a little bit of some hauling that we had coming up when we get the paver fixed.
something broke on it and fell down and it's one of them things that fell in the wrong spot, and then something got jammed when they tried to suck the screed in, and things got bent. It's not a fatal thing, it's just we gotta get some parts. And I'm sitting here going, yeah, everything's predicated on getting these 3 paving things done, and then we do the other stuff, so it's a little bit out of sequence right now, not the end of the world. Fortunately, we have a lot of things farmed out this year, to contractors, so we have enough flexibility with what we're doing that we should be able to make it work. But, so we're doing some hauling right now. We're gonna go out and finish. We got done milling what we wanted to mill on that 9 west of 281 up there. Then we're gonna pave, it's about 3.7 miles, but it's not all in a row. I've said this a few times. It's half mile here, half mile there to get that all kind of strapped back together, and then we'll chip seal it before the year's out, I'm hoping. But that'll be the next place we go with paving. We're probably gonna do a little more shouldering next week because the paver's displaced, so we're gonna add in some of that. I can't tell you specifically off the top of my head, but we have a list, and we'll just start picking away at that. The hot in place, pre-con, that's the one on Road 14, starting at the airport going south. The pre-con is today, and I do know that they're having a dog and pony show on that on August 6th for SDSU and LTAP, so by August 6th it should be well going. I'll get the exact start date here in a few hours when we have the meeting. And then the cold in place job, that's the one that's on 16. That one's probably not quite as quick, but it's not too far behind. It should be in the next 30 days as well. And that one's not as tricky. The candidate's really good for that process. So we're having that pre-con today after the other one, so we have 2 of these today. And like I said, that'll be going here in the next couple weeks. Road 27, we're still down there milling because we keep killing our milling machine, but we got it running again. We're getting this ready. At this time, by 2 minutes is gonna come in and do the paving. We're gonna buy it off of Spink County's bid. It's a really nice number. It's like $113 a ton, which is pretty good in place. And they're gonna go, I think we're just gonna go back to the bridge. There's some gray area in here where our jurisdiction and Spink County's ends, except that the bridge is not ours no matter what. I've decided that, but it's not, don't worry. But I think there's actually a distance on the west side of the bridge that's technically Spink County's, but I'm talking like 200 yards or something, so we're just gonna pave it all the way to the bridge, because we've got, there's some Brown County taxpayers that live on the Spink County side down there. That's fine, but that road's kind of, that one and this one up here at Bath that we're gonna do, and this M27 are probably the longest we've gone. Well, I gotta be careful there. Those roads have lasted way longer, yes, at varying levels of quality. I'm not saying they're awesome, but compared to a lot of things, these 2 have had hardly anything done to them, and I'm talking for like 20-some years. It's a little patching and stuff, but it's amazing we don't have less out there right now. Okay, so that'll get paid before they think they're gonna come towards the end of August. They're gonna be doing the same guys that are doing Highway 20 down there by Brentford, and there's a big project down there. Sand Lake Bridge, that's actually moving along pretty decent as far as bridge projects go, but they're driving some pile and sheet piling and just cleaning the channel out. We will have a change order coming on that because they hit the old bridge foundation 2 bridges ago. That's kind of interesting. I think that's the 5th or 6th time either our bridges or all the state bridges in 281 were county bridges at one time, those locations. And so when they go up there and they replace, like when they replaced the one over the Maple here a couple years ago, 15 years ago probably, whatever. They tore out the old one, started digging, boom, they hit another one. And well, then they start calling around and somebody figures out that it's a county. Well, sure enough, we get out our bridge Bible, tells you what's there. That one, we actually had the plans for it, because we have quite a archive, or a shitty closet, whatever you wanna call it, but we got a bunch of stuff in there. And, so that happens more than you think, that they might say, okay, here's the bridge, but when they built that one, they left the footings from the previous one on there, and we seem to run into them a lot. But that bridge that's moving along pretty good. And then Bridge 350 finally shook loose. That one's not quite as, this is one of those bridges that when it went closed, it turned out to be the most important bridge in the county, even though it's from out in the middle of nowhere. But,
I know I got calls.
yeah. They do have a couple arguments. This one is actually posted to straight trucks too, but that's gonna keep going because you can take a semi over it. They do have a point, you can't get across out here. And my argument is the same as it always is. If there's a 12-ton bridge, why don't you call us and tell us you need it, instead of hauling on it until it's a 3-ton bridge, and then we're like, well, it's a 3-ton bridge, what do you need that for? And so we close them, and then everybody loses their mind, you know? So, but, anyway, we've had all the pieces for this bridge. It's sitting in the backyard, actually. So, it's just a matter of getting a contractor to put it together. We bought all the pieces a couple of years ago, and they've been sitting in inventory. We're gonna recycle the beams off the bridge, so we'll just pull them up, we'll take the steel that we already have, build a substructure, and set them back down on it. So as far as like the additional costs we're putting into it this year, it shouldn't be anything too terrible. But, and that'll make the folks up there happy, and that should go in, everything's gonna happen the next 30 days, but that's another one. They're wrapping up the final design on it, and then somebody, Lynn, either me or IMEG will get a hold of you to get a bid date ready for it. And that one should go yet this year because we've already procured all the materials. All they gotta do is come and put the erector set together, so. And the gates are at 104 last week, and they're at 109 today, so the gym dropped 5 inches. There was a huge drop in it a while back there, just huge. And if you get down by Millette, everything's still full because of the rain that kind of, I mean, we got hit, but south of us, they got a little more, and then, I'm all turned around here. Mud Creek, way over east side, all that's really full, but here in the middle, it's not too bad right now, so.
Good. Even looked like the crow was starting to come down.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep. So, we had closed them because after the rain, the big rain, we closed them because the gym was coming up so
Sure.
fast. And then it just, and I was talking to Jeff in Spink County today, because he called to ask me the same question. He goes, did you see the gym drop like 3 feet in 10 minutes? And I'm like, yeah, we thought something was wrong, you know, but no, that's just, that surge cleared and went through. So the north half right now, like pretty much all Brown County as far as the gym goes, is pretty decent, I think, or back getting closer to normal. South of us, stuff's still full. The creek coming from the west along Highway 20 out by Northville is just absolutely full again, which is just nuts, but.
3 feet in 10 minutes, that's
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
tsunami in Huron?
Yeah. But no, it did drop really fast. So, okay, that's, I think that's all I got. And if you wanna come out to the highway shop, make it, pack a lunch and plan your day, 'cause it's 9.5 miles to go to the credit union from my office right now, round trip. 6 blocks. So, but no, that's all we got going on. We will, this week is not my ideal summer work week, just because of the paver being down. If we had to be paving today, we'd be out, and the weather's not too bad for paving, but I'm a little reluctant to start shooting oil all over things today anyway, so. But, no, other than that, we should stay busy, and I'm pretty excited to get all these projects going and checking a few boxes, and so.
Next 30 days we're gonna be busy.
Yeah, 30 days. And we did get the stuff, I think we got most of that wrapped up out at the fairgrounds. The number I told you isn't even, it's like half of that, so.
That's good to hear.
What is it? Is it like 284 or something?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't, no one's giving you a number yet?
No.
Okay, good. I think it's around, because I think I said 430,000 or something, and it's about 284 is what we have into it so far.
Good.
Didn't have as much into prep as I thought we would, and we did gravel the primitive out of that too. So, didn't go too bad.
Great.
Yeah, that middle deal looks, I drove out there the other day, got that nice little roundabout there.
Oh, on
Right
the
by the
west
beach
side there,
line.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, she was talking about putting a gazebo or something in there.
yeah, I requested water fountains,
Yeah,
public water fountains.
something in there would be cool.
Like just little water spigots.
Yeah, I know, but now we
So
gotta cut the
water
frickin' road to
I
get
was
the
gonna say,
water
I
in
would
there.
dig up the new
Yeah.
We can just run a garden hose across it. We're not looking for high quality water,
Oh, okay.
potable water.
No, and again, I mean, you guys think I'm full of crap, but those guys the guys we have at the highway department right now are, I mean, it's...
Rock stars.
Yeah, I generally just get stuff stirred up, and I just make sure they're not spending too much money, but the experiences that those guys have from other places that they've brought here, and to be able to look at things, I mean, the fairground, a lot of people can go out and kind of look at a straight road and go, yep, this is what you need to do, and this is how much money you can spend, but out there, when you're, you know, the way that thing's been developed over the years, it's okay, the horse people got money, so we're gonna do some horse stuff over here, and then the racetrack people got money, so we're gonna do racetrack over here, and then over here, we're gonna do I mean, and it's great, and it's fine, but you gotta be honest about it. The way that thing's developed has been very organic. It wasn't like we're following this master plan for the last 100 years. So, to come in later and try to tie all that stuff together and still get it to drain so we don't have to drag Blackhawk's bus out of the pits, it's good that we do that stuff, and I'm glad that you recognize, and honestly, when the mayor acknowledged that we have this kind of thing in Aberdeen, and they would also like to be active in, maybe more active in participating with it, or however you want. I'm trying to be careful here, okay?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that a lot of people a lot of civic areas would love to have a 250,000 person event ready built, and we almost have gotten a little used to it. It's just sort of something that you do, and so it's good that we're not gonna let the fairgrounds turn into just, you know, stuff falling down all the time.
Sure.
So, blah, 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 I'll leave. Call if you need something.
All right, thanks, Dirk.
Have a good day. Thank you.
I think around August 1st, they're hoping to have Roosevelt intersection.
Yeah.
The way I understand it.
It was really, the way it looks like FMC, or BAE must be the one that was a little bit of logistics for them, because that seems to be that's where the connecting point's gonna be.
Okay.
You know, they came up there and then they came to the west and worked back to us, but, yeah, Grandma Trudeau or Buick should not be up on 8th Avenue, that's all I know.
I was gonna talk to Dirk.
Thank you.
I just wanted to...
All right, moving on to the consent calendar. Lynn?
Approval of the general meeting minutes of July 7th.
Move. Motion by Dennert. Second. Second by Dinger. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Claims and payroll.
Move. Second by Gage, second by Dennert. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
HR report.
Move. Motion by Dinger. Second. Second by Gage. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Lease agreement.
Move. Second by Dennert, second by Dinger. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Lottery permit for the Brown County 4-H lease.
Move. Motion by Dinger, second by Gage. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Any other business to come before the Brown County Commission this morning? Had a request to go into executive session for personnel and contracts, maybe legal, maybe possibly. Ross is here.
Put legal in there, because we have a couple questions.
Okay. Contracts, personnel, legal. Need a motion to go into executive.
Move.
Motion by Gage. Second. Second by Dennert.
Thanks, everyone.
Signify by
Thank
saying
you.
aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are in exec. Okay, we are back in session, out of exec with no action as a result. Getting back to our agenda, we had moved item number C under item 8, further down on the agenda. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to postpone action on, the Fran Romeo Agency contracts until next Tuesday.
Move.
Motion by Dinger,
Second.
second by Gage. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Anything else to come before the Brown County Commission this morning?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Dennert,
Second.
second by Dinger to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. We are adjourned.